Hello and welcome. My name is Ivor Ambrose. I'm the Managing Director of ENAT, the European Network for Accessible Tourism. I'm here to introduce an accessible tourism destination management handbook that ENAT has produced for the National Tourist Board of Portugal, the Turismo de Portugal. Portugal is in the fortunate position of having a leadership which understands that accessible tourism is an important factor for the growth of the country's tourism industry. They have initiated a program for supporting small and medium-sized enterprises which will try to bring about changes in the accessibility of destinations and businesses to the advantage of the destinations, the suppliers, and of course the visitors. We were asked to develop a handbook to help destinations manage the implementation of accessibility across the offers and across the suppliers that they deal with. I'm going to take you quickly through a number of slides which will introduce the main and essential ingredients of the handbook. First of all, what is accessible tourism about? It's about tourism for all. It's about making environments, venues and services suitable for the widest range of customers, including people with disabilities, but also seniors, families with small children, and many more. And it's about any and every kind of tourism experience. The handbook is intended for destination managers to help them develop and market Portugal's regions, cities, and tourist locations. By reading the handbook and using the handbook, it will raise their awareness about accessibility, their knowledge and the skills of destination management, and lead to benefits for visitors and communities in Portugal. The goal of this handbook is ultimately that any and every visitor should be able to enjoy the unique experiences that destinations in Portugal have to offer. And for this to happen, the destination management organisations need to extend a warm welcome to their customers, paying particular attention to visitors' various access needs and providing experiences that can be enjoyed by everyone. There is a rising demand, not only in Portugal but also internationally, for accessible tourism offers. Portugal has 634,000 citizens with access requirements, and there are 138 million people with access needs in the European Union. An estimated 1 billion people in the world have some form of disability. And of course, the growing number of older people wanting to travel has an impact on this market. Seniors are in fact 65% of the accessible tourism market. 1 in 5 persons in Europe are over 60, and they want to travel and enjoy life as they have got used to over the past generations. The contents of the handbook are broken down into 14 chapters. First of all, we explain how to use the handbook, and then we take the destination managers through the various steps which are shown in this slide. The accessible tourism market, destination planning, supporting businesses, built environment facilities, transport, customer service, devising and developing accessible tourism experiences, engaging with stakeholders, benchmarking and performance targets, employment, information, marketing, and monitoring and evaluating what you have done. So running quickly through those items, it's important, of course, to lay out the case for accessible tourism as a worthwhile and an economic business case that destinations should be engaged in. We give examples from other parts of Europe where it's been proven that accessibility is an important asset for destinations. We look at the national and legal framework in Portugal, and we explain how supporting new initiatives through the Portuguese All for All program is helping to drive forward accessibility in the country. We pay particular attention to the built environment and facilities, how universal design can be applied to the issues of design of buildings, facilities and services, and show several examples of good practices drawn from Portugal itself, where a lot of work has been done over the past few years to develop adventure sports, hotels, and other offers, accessible beaches and so on. The focus on transport looks at accessibility throughout the journey and at the destination. It's necessary to think also about customer service. This is at the core of good accessible tourism experiences, and all the parts of the tourism chain need to work on improving their customer service. When thinking about accessible tourism, we also need to look at the experiences of people with access needs. When they're on holiday, they want to do pretty much the same as other people, but how they are enabled to do that is very important. That the suppliers and the destinations need to put themselves in the shoes of a person who is looking for an accessible offer and work with tour operators and organizations of people with disabilities or older people to test and work out tourism products that will really be attractive and accessible for all. Engaging with those stakeholders, the disability organizations, but also planners and architects, with tour operators, tourist guides, all those who make up the tourism chain is very important. And we talk about how to build teams around the theme of accessibility. The destination should also develop its strategy looking at targets and good practices that it can introduce, assessing the competition and setting a set of key performance indicators that it can work towards. We look at European destination case studies and destination audits to help in these processes. Employment, volunteering and training are developed in Chapter 11, looking at the legal obligations for employment and the benefits of employing people with disabilities, and on-the-job training for the cultural sector. Information plays a key role. Information about accessibility. How we gather this information, how we serve it to the customers is very important too. So in this chapter 12 on information, we look at the way that destinations can develop their own access guides and their tools for customer engagement. We look also at alternative formats that may be necessary for people who don't quite so easily use websites or use the telephone and so on. When we're thinking about marketing and promotions, it's very important to remember that all users have different requirements, that people don't all have the same requirements, and it's important to explain to those with access needs what kind of accessibility features and services are available. Provide enough detail, get feedback from visitors, and continually improve the information level in your marketing and promotions. Include photographs of people enjoying the facilities and the attractions in your venue, and include people with a disability in your general marketing and imagery. Finally, it's important to monitor what you do to understand how success can be measured and to make sure that you record and improve on the basis of your experiences. That then is the overview of the handbook. There are a number of resources in the back of the handbook there. There are links throughout the document. It's a digital document, so you can link from that to many sites and references that are online. And there's a bibliography with further reading, a glossary explaining the terminology. So I hope you'll enjoy your reading, improve access in your destination, and enjoy your work. And of course, the most important thing is that when you've improved your accessibility, don't forget to tell what you've done so that people will then be able to find you and come and enjoy what you have to offer. Thank you.